Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome you in our Polish Biotech virtual studio here in Warsaw. I am here today with Professor Tadeusz Pietrucha. Professor is one of the most famous biotechnology specialists here in our country, and we will try to answer on few bordering us questions about the biotechnology branch. Thank you, Professor, for your visit.
Thank you very much. Thank you for so nice introduction.
Professor, I have to start from this topic, COVID. Yes, so
Yeah.
Big brands, startups are now in the race to find a vaccine, the drug, the best diagnostic method. What do you think? Where is the potential place for the Polish companies in this race?
At least we can start in this competition because some of the Polish companies have a very good cooperation with foreign companies who are really deeply involved in this, for example, vaccine elaboration or clinical studies. And I think we have a chance to be in this team of companies who are producing the vaccine. And at least in one case, I hope this can happen even pretty soon. So I deeply believe that at the end of this year, Poland will be one of the countries where vaccine is producing on commercial scale, but for, of course, clinical trials, because as according to my knowledge, everybody have to go through the clinical trials, and no one is already finished this.
Okay, but what do you think also about the diagnostics, diagnostic methods? Because we are well known in the world from this branch.
We have one company which produced diagnostic test dedicated to COVID directly. But I think in this area the competition is very high, and there is many companies who already have the product on the market. So probably will be one of the many countries who are able to provide this test not only for our needs, but the company is probably able to export of its tests.
Okay, thank you. But you know that even better than me that biotechnology is the one of the fastest growing industry sectors in the world. You think the COVID problem will stop it or even accelerate it?
You're absolutely right. The biotechnology is one of the fastest growing sector in our economy, not only in Poland economy, but as global leader. I think that it's a great opportunity for the business, not of course for us as a potential target of COVID, of course. But this situation creates a unique opportunity for acceleration of biotech development in global, because people now can see how this sector is important in terms of healthcare, of course. And many investors turns their interest to biotech. So we can expect that starting from nowadays, the money invested in biotech will grow continually. It will be a good financial background. It will be a very good financial background for further development of very interested biotech products, not only connected with COVID, of course, but we still have to suffer with oncology problem, with
Neurotic, yeah.
Yes, of course. So we have many things to do in biotech, and I hope this process of development and new medicines will go much faster than up to this time.
Like in every sector, I think the biggest problem is to get funding, yes, to start.
Sure, this is the critical thing.
So the current access to the funding, how you can describe it in Poland? You think it's getting better? It's standing in the same place?
At least now, probably the government see the importance of this sector more than let's say, before. So I hope that the founding or funds for Polish biotech enterprises or for biotech projects will come also in much will come faster, and the amount of money will be much bigger, both from the public sector and from private sector also, because as you probably very well know, to start with some projects we need public money. Usually private investors entered to this process later on. So if we have many new projects, many new potential medicines, we have to invest some public money in this sector. When we will be successful at this beginning, this first steps of development, we don't need to worry about money from the private sector. They will come.
So the main barrier are money or something else?
Probably it depends from the situation, because in different countries there's a different situation regarding biotech development. In Poland, money are very important, but I think it's also important to change our way of thinking, particularly in the science community. We have to think more about research and development than about pure science, about basic science. So I hope that particularly young people will be now more encouraged to take this risk with research and development projects.
And what do you think about the IP? Is safe in Poland?
Now is situation quite different, and people are aware, both in science and in this private industry, that IP is critical in biotech. Without not well protected projects, there is no way to continue of development. And I'm pretty sure that regarding the IT, there is no problem like it was before. So people are aware, people starting to patenting, and they know how it is very important. So at least the young generation thinks in totally different way. They know that they have to send a patent application and next publish, not opposite.
Great. And what do you think, what are the main barriers? Because you mentioned about the university, about the young people, how to transfer the technology to the biotech sector, yes? Because there are a lot of issues there. So what is your good advice, yes, for the young people, how to do it?
You know, it is hard to say or give to universal advice, because it's everything depends actually from us. It is not, we don't have a typical barrier like few years ago. So I think the most important barrier is in our, let's say, behavior. We have to change our thinking. We have to believe that biotech, let's say, career, it is not only financial career, but it's also scientific career. We have a chance to prove what we are doing in real life. Our final effect is not an article, it's a real drug based on modern science. So when we are deeply involved in biotech, we have to be very good in science, and also we have to be quite good in business. This is, I think, more challenging pathway of career development than pure scientific career. And I believe that young people will take this challenge.
So the mix of the business and the science, this is the recipe.
Yeah, you know, the science is very important, but these skills which we needed on this business side are also important. So when we are talking about money, for example, money comes with usually with knowledge when they comes from the private sector. And this is also important because how to be a good scientist, we are getting the skills during our education career. But usually at the Polish university, we still don't have an opportunity to get some practical business knowledge when we are studying, let's say, biotechnology, molecular biology, or medicine. This program of education is focused on the scientific, fundamental scientific knowledge. That's okay, but we are not able to develop scientific project with some practical goal without business knowledge. So I think in future we have to improve our education program, but now we should look not only for money from the private sector, we have to look for this business practical skills. And this business partner is our partner for this process of development, like new medicines or whatever what comes from the biotech. So we have to do these things together. We have go through all this process together. It is not like he's getting me money and I am happy I can reach the market. It doesn't work in that way.
Okay, so the balance will be between the science and
the balance, and we should expect from investors not only money, something more. We have to expect the knowledge, the skills, the experience. And I hope when these things will come together to scientific projects, we have much more chance to be a winner.
So this is some kind of partnership. So
exactly.
Looking on the map, we are in the central of Europe, yes? So where we should find our partner for this partnership?
That's actually a very good question, because of course everybody knows the most new medicines, most new biologics comes from US, and there's no doubt that the US is a global leader in this sector. So of course, it's obvious that best partners comes from US because they have big experience. They have, let's say, good opportunity to enter on global markets. And I think it's the good direction for Polish biotech. We should to start cooperate with global players. The problem is how to attract them to Poland. Poland is not recognized as a, let's say, biotech country yet.
Yeah,
I hope it will happen pretty soon, but we have to work hard on this. But to get such partners from such development countries, we have to offer something them what can attract them to us. And I think we have such things because we are new in this sector, but we have a, let's say, fresh look on this products. We have a lot of passion, commitment.
We are not afraid.
We are not afraid, sure, yeah, you're right. But from the other hand, the process, the most risky steps of development products, like, for example, biologics, we are quite good in this, and the cost of these first steps of this process, we can reach at much lower costs than in, for example, US. So we can go through these most risky steps with lower price. It is not a matter, of course, of, let's say, salary for scientists, because we have to well-paid people who have skills and knowledge. But we have many advantages compared to, for example, US. For example, we can go much faster through clinical research because it's much more easier to enroll patients in Poland than in US. And also, of course, it's cheaper. We can go through these steps of development much faster. And this means that we will save not only time, but money, of course, because this total time which we have to invest in such process is quite huge. This is like 10 or more years. So if we can go faster through these processes, we can save money, time, and everybody will give the benefits from that.
But maybe a small local alliance, where do you see?
You mean in Poland?
In Europe.
In Europe?
Yeah.
That's actually a good question, because my personal experience is like this, that American investors, American biotech players are more open. So they don't care for where their potential partner is located. They looking for value of the project, value of benefits from such cooperation.
This is some kind of value-based medicine for the...
Yes, some kind of, but in Europe, this, let's say, business culture is a little bit different. People are more focused on their local markets, on their local, let's say, environment. It doesn't mean that such cooperation is impossible. It's also possible, but it's a little bit different. For example, the American partner, they don't have any problem with that he is cooperating with a guy from Poland. I can't say that the same, let's say, opinion is shared in European leaders. Maybe I'm wrong, but it is just my personal experience. So I hope now this COVID situation will change also this, let's say, science business behavior, and we will be also on both sides more open for cooperation. We can cross this barrier, this culture's barrier. And this is also one of good things which we can take from this bad situation.
But if we forget for a few minutes about COVID, I know it's almost impossible, it's everywhere, yes, but where do you see the potential of Polish biotech in nearest 5 years, yes?
What is good thing, I see many quite good companies who are successful in this biologicals development, and they, quite many of them passed this first most risky, most critical steps. So some of them, they are close to, for example, first phase of clinical research, second phase, and this encourage also other people that we can do something with new. We're doing also some projects connected with biosimilars products. And this is also good because we have to learn this technological process, how to produce in large scale, in commercial scale, for example, recombinant protein. This is important. But to be really a member of this club leaders, we have to discover, we have to introduce something, really new medicine, something which is recognized as a global success. And to reach this goal, we have to start with many many innovative projects, and this actually I see in Poland. Young people are not afraid to take this risk, and we see when we take a look on the biotech companies, we see like pyramid. We have a few companies on the top, but it's more interesting what is at the base of this
The
pyramid.
power goes from the bottom.
Yeah, exactly. So this base is quite good. We have many very promising startups.
But what do you think, for example, to come back to antibiotics to make in Poland?
It's also a very good question because many people thought that antibiotics area is already past. It's a not promising group of medicines. But thanks to molecular biology, we know now that, for example, some natural products from, for example, bacteria, like antibiotics, which we already discovered, is just, let's say, 1/3 of potential new molecular new antibiotics which can be available from these sources, even from the well-known sources. To get these new products, we have to unblock this biosynthesis of new antibiotics, which already exist in the microorganism. So probably we can get on this biotechnological way a new antibiotics we can use for antibiotics resistance diseases or antibiotic resistance patients also. We have some companies who are working on this area, but the problem is that those companies are very good in this production process, but they don't have a good experience with research and development activity. So I hope this will change if the companies start to change their business model. They have to build up their own research and development unit, because to discover something, to get out from the microorganism, even if you know what you want, you have to know how to get out, how to stimulate this bacteria to produce something which is not there, which is not expressed yet in this bacteria. So without R&D units, without people who focusing on research, we will be not able to get it. So I still hope that this pressure of healthcare needs will stimulate to change such a traditional business model towards to work also on this R&D process.
So maybe this is a time that we should use artificial intelligence, bioinformatics, to accelerate.
Yeah, it is a little bit different story, because when you are using artificial intelligence, you can change the structure, for example, already existing antibiotics. But I'm talking about something which is comes from the current science, that we know that some bacteria, for example, produce some well-known antibiotics, and we know how to produce these antibiotics. But the same bacteria cell has, let's say, blocked some metabolic pathways. We don't know why, but they blocked. But they have the potential of producing a new antibiotics is much bigger than we are able now to get from this. So if we will find the way how to unblock this already blocked metabolic pathways. We have a great new sources of natural products from bacteria. Of course, artificial intelligence is important because they're new tools, but it's the tools which come from human knowledge. But we already have some natural products which up to now we weren't be able to get it. It's enough to, let's say, unblock this already blocked metabolic pathways, and we have a whole bunch of new antibiotics.
So we know how to start, but we need still the funds and the people.
Funds and the people, and also a kind of new way of thinking about this business. So traditional pharma knows how to produce antibiotics. They have everything what is needed for production. But to create something new, to discover something new, they have to build up also strong R&D units. They have to see what's going on in science. It is not like production is okay, selling is okay. Of course it's okay, but the world goes fast. The needs are huge. So if we need to develop our sector, we have to provide a new successful medicines. So we have to think not only about production and selling, this is important, but we have to think everybody about new innovative medicines. It is not just, let's say, biotech specialty. The traditional pharma has to go also in this way.
So maybe market reward for the access, yes, reward for the access will help for the innovator.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, that's the, you see, the even like this one, it's a great opportunity to see what market needs and how we can adapt our activity to market needs.
Okay, so maybe on the end, in few points, how we can invite our viewers to start business cooperation in Poland?
I think first of all, you should have to visit our virtual booth. And the second thing, you should be more, let's say, sensitive about Poland. Poland can surprise you with potential of Polish biotech sector, and let you
see on place.
See on place, yeah.
Professor, thank you for your visit, for all information that you share with us, and hope to see you maybe next year on Real Bio.
Oh, thank you very much. It would be nice to also discuss in real, let's say, contact, not only through virtual way, but I hope that it will happen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.